3. What's good, everybody? It's Batman. We're doing part 2 for the reaction to Minato vs. Genku. We went super hella hard in the first reaction. I hope we didn't hurt your feelings, Loco, or anything like that. Nothing but love and peace and happiness, okay? Let's not have a great ninja war, all right? What's it called? But either way, we're going to get into it. We're either just going to combine this with the first part, or we might just leave it as the second part. I'll have to see how long the other video was, to be honest with you. But we're going to continue it on. Loco is basically connecting the rest of his chain scaling now due to like his whole argumentation with the semantical value of things and the statements and whatnot and yada yada. So that's basically what happened. Now he's going to connect this to Raikage and then try to connect that to Minato basically, and then therefore Minato loses, right? It would make sense if we take that logic and that argumentation, and sure, even I would agree. But then again, it's not true, and that's easily debunkable and refutable. So, look, Ken was saying something before he was rudely interrupted. Go ahead, Ken.
So basically what I was saying is at the beginning of the war, which this part's after, Raikage make this mistake of underestimating what the Nine Tail is fully capable of. And I think in this scenario, he's basically just doing the opposite for Ken, where he's sitting there thinking, well, this is the same like power that was used to blitz me, so it must be like this ridiculous amp. So I think he's just overestimating what transformed Kinkaku can do.
Yeah,
which can be further backed up by the fact that he loses to Darui.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's pretty bad as well, because, and Ken, that's a very valid point he brought up, to where it shows an error in his miscalculation of comprehending powers and things. Like, he severely underestimated Naruto and yada yada yada. He was blatantly wrong, you know what I mean? The same thing can basically be applied to this situation with Kinkaku and V2 armor, you know? So, it is what it is. But we're going to get into it. And then once again, Ken already said in the beginning of the video, like, it's literally just the first 2 minutes. And that's literally the only argumentation you need in scaling. But Raikage over Darui, which would be over Kinkaku and Kinkaku. Fucking simple. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
To the yellow flash, which means that
by the way, I can't see the video.
Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot. I gotta fucking stream it again. Because everything went to shit. Alright, there you go. You should be able to see it. You got it?
I'm good.
Right, cool.
Yep.
Or equal to Hokage Minato, right? Because he obviously can't be inferior to him or weaker than him, right? So if
wait, what? Whoa. You heard that, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
The Raikage cannot be weaker or inferior to Minato? Did he not? Is this man not watching the show, bro? I don't know. I give up. I'm not even gonna respond to that one, bro. Like, he's literally dead ass taking these statements like to the extreme, like to the extreme T, bro, and not understanding that statements can have meanings, etc. The whole fucking nine, blah blah, or just be blatantly contradicted by feats. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Clearly, the right interpretation, along with the abundance of evidence we have in feats, the Raikage is relative, but he is not equal to Minato. Okay, and he is inferior to Minato.
That's also combat speed.
Yeah, he is inferior to Minato, and he is weaker because Minato literally beats him. Literally. He literally beats him. If it wasn't for KILLERBEE, he would have got fucked up, okay? And then all because he had several fights doesn't prove anything. That just means Minato is having to deal with a fucking guy that is a hardhead and stubborn as fuck and literally just having fun, basically, and not fucking killing him, whatever, because he likes him. He literally ended up liking KILLERBEE and the Raikage. He respected them with high regard. And Minato normally doesn't do that. It's very rare for him to do that. So he acknowledged their power, and etc., and you name it. And mainly due to in regard for courtesy for KILLERBEE, if I'm being honest with you. Otherwise, he would have just killed the Raikage. But at the end of the day, it's just he's misconstruing the statements, and he's taking it like at a ridiculous, incorrect value. And when it says that he's not inferior to the yellow flash, whatever, blah blah, all this bullshit, it's basically saying that he's not like severely weakened to the point where he can't be at least anywhere compatible to the yellow flash. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's along with that regard. It's not in a literal dead ass extreme sense where like now Raikage is stronger than Minato or some bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Like,
it's basically just saying like he can like hang like with Minato in a fight, but that's about it.
Literally, and we literally see that. We dead ass see what it means. Like, so I don't know what he's on about with that shit.
Raikage thinks that he won't be able to stop Kinkaku, then that means Minato probably can't either, since he would scale below him. And a lot of people...
Wow!
So real
He
fast.
thinks Minato scales below the Raikage. Oh, man. That's crazy. I was right. Anyways, what were you saying, Ken?
I was gonna say because that data book statement also only talking about like speed. It's not talking like intelligence, ninjutsu capability, attack power, durability. Like it's only talking about speed.
Yeah.
So like there could be like other factors that could put like Minato above these people that A just doesn't have.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real with you guys. This shit is sorry as fuck, bro. This is bad. Like, I'm sorry. This is like some Gil or Peach or fucking Weeb type shit right now, dude. It's bad. It's really like I'll give even props and credits to Moniichi. Not even Moniichi would be this fucking like delusional. Come on, bro.
Oh, that statement is referring to Jonin Minato. First of all, no, it's not. There is no reference to Jonin Minato in that statement or in that entire page at all. Second, prove to me that Jonin Minato is any weaker than Hokage Minato. Give me one feat, give me one instance. That's all I ask of you. I know you can't do it. Of course, there are others in the Shinobi Alliance that...
So, I'll say this. It is referring to the Yellow Flash, because for one, we see the Minato version that's literally on the data book page. And two, it's saying the Yellow Flash, which is literally Jonin Minato. Okay, and we know 4th Hokage Minato is now the Hokage, and he's not called the Yellow Flash. Instead, he's called the 4th Hokage, okay? And there's moments where other characters will mention Minato as the Yellow Flash, the nickname, because that was literally his nickname. But around that whole Jonin time period, that's what people would always refer to Minato, the Yellow Flash, because that was the main reputation and legendary status he had, was aka the Yellow Flash, okay, when he was a Jonin, like that whole entire fucking time. And then when he becomes the 4th Hokage, it's a different look, and he's literally approached and called the 4th Hokage. He's not called the Yellow Flash anymore, basically. Now, when it goes into the future, people will bring him up as the Yellow Flash, whatever, blah, blah. But the reason why is because that was literally his nickname. That's what this, like, 9 out of 10 times, that's their main go-to. But if it's in that direct manner, like right there as the approach, they call him the 4th Hokage. It is two different versions. They're not the same. And then not only that, whenever it's referencing Jonin Minato's power, they're strictly talking about the Yellow Flash because that's how the narrative is directly comparing Minato to KCM Naruto. And then eventually it goes on further and to where when we see KCM 2 Naruto, it's showing like the whole cloak and everything and the 4th Hokage look and whatever, blah, blah, not the, the KCM 1 look, where now Kishimoto's kind of trying to give like a narrative, like incentive of like Minato's KCM 2, whatever, blah, blah, yada, yada, with the 4th Hokage power, yada, yada, yada. Like there's many ways you can comprehend and analyze it overall, but no matter what, like, I'm just being blatantly honest with you, like that's just blatantly wrong as well. I don't know what the hell he's on about or why he's getting pissed. And then not only that, there is an abundance of evidence you can utilize to prove that 4th Hokage Minato is stronger than Yellow Flash Minato. Okay, for one, we have literally the fact that Kakashi is a prime character. We see his growth from part 1 all the way to Shippuden into the war arc. It's massive. A big fucking deal. We've seen Boruto power cliffing. We've seen all kinds of fucking examples. We've seen Kid Hashirama to fucking grown Hashirama. I don't know what to fucking tell you. There's many an abundance of narrative examples where characters get stronger over time. Just over a certain amount of time, you can get very fucking strong if you continue to train, etc., whatever you name it. So I don't know where, I don't know where the fuck I don't know why the fuck he's freaking out, or where the fact he's getting the point where, like, how you could argue that Yellow Flash is the same power level as 4th Hokage, or, like, not even that much different, like a very small different. I think that's very weird and silly, but, that's just me.
I mean, if you want, like, a direct, like, power, like, showing, like, Yellow Flash, Minato, like, best showing is like cutting through like Beast's like transformation like tail.
Yeah.
While like Hokage Minato like has a fever, like he like blows off like Obito's like arm. Like this Obito should be like stronger than the Nine Tails, so he's able to like control it, like rip it out of Kushina and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
so, like you have like direct like above scaling from like 8 to 9 Tails.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then not only that, like we see Teen Minato fucking combating against the full Nine Tails. The full Teen Minato, bro! Like, injured and poisoned and fatigued. And he's combating against the full Nine Tails with an incomplete baby-ass Rasengan. Like, but hey, we're gonna forget about that, right? We're not gonna even mention that once, right? But yeah, he loses to a small baby-ass percentage of Ninetales juice. You got it, you know?
Scale above Minato as well. The first one being Killer Bee. We already saw him perception blitz Minato in the Third Great Shinobi War. Whenever Bee used his tentacle to push A out of the way and into safety, Minato didn't even realize...
He's saying Killer Bee perception blitz Minato.
Where the fuck are you getting that here?
Oh shit, bro. And, you know, it's like he completely forgets that Minato then teleports to Killer Bee to kill him, and then he realizes Killer Bee was able to be relative to like try to respond accordingly, and at least was talented enough and a genius enough to know that he was going to strike from behind, because he realized he marked his tentacle, because Killer Bee is a genius. He's a very talented shinobi. Okay, he's part of that rare era where he's that guy, right? And so he was able to pick upon what Minato was doing while the Raikage couldn't, because the Raikage is kind of a fucking doofus, and he's hard-headed, and he's stubborn. He's very emotional. Killer Bee is very decisive, good analysis ability, an incredible talented shinobi. That's the difference in capacity we're seeing here. And mind you, Raikage is still stronger than Killer Bee. He's faster and more powerful. But Killer Bee's analysis and intelligence in shinobi is superior than the Raikage in this particular regard. That's what's basically occurring in this scene. And literally, Killer Bee is able to, for one, protect the Raikage, because, you know, it's kind of what he's supposed to do, right? And two, then Minato teleports behind to get rid of him, and then basically he was already like prepared and had his like thing up. Now, he's not faster than Minato or anything like that. It's not like he like, oh, therefore now he can react and be equal or whatever. But he's at least relative in a regard where he can kind of like comprehend in a sense what is going on, to where he's not like way too far behind, to where he can at least keep up in some regard. And he was able to understand what was occurring. And then Minato realized that and recognized it, and then even acknowledged and complimented him. He's like, you know what? We're enemies, but I actually really like you as a shinobi, and I don't want to kill you. Like, also just further implying that Minato's also holding back and not willing to kill Killer Bee when he could as well. So like this is just very dishonest. It's very dishonest, or at least ignorant. But I'm gonna be real with you. I think Loco is just being very dishonest. I've seen many other. I've seen one video that was extremely goated. I've seen a recent debate he did against retard Peach Fuzz. Okay, Loco is a very smart individual. He's smart. Okay, he does know, but he's purposely being dishonest and being like a low tier right now, and I don't know fucking why. I'm just being real with you. He's like, this is not. I'm not gonna fall for the bullshit or him being a fool here, because he's a very smart person, very smart. So I don't know why he's doing this. I really don't. But you have anything more to add to that, Ken, or no?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, that's just crazy. I guess Killer Bee now is over Minato and Raikage as a team. Team Killer Bee.
He didn't cut through A until after the tentacle had already pushed him away, right? We literally see his internal dialogue. He's like, what? Exclamation point, exclamation point.
That's not
after
internal.
He's already cut through the tentacle. So he couldn't even tell what was going on.
He says that's... Like, he's surprised because it's the 8 Tails Jinchuriki, bro. What are you on about?
That's not eternal. That's our eternal. He's saying that.
Yeah, he's saying it. He's not even thinking it, bro.
Of course, we also see B react to Flying Thunder God, which is instantaneous teleportation. Minato was not able to catch him off guard when he teleported to his back.
Further proving that if Killer Bee can do something, but you know, I forgot Tobirama can. Killer Bee and all these other motherfuckers can, but not Tobirama, you know? Or, you know what I mean? Like, hey.
Jonin B, in base, was able to not only perception blitz me.
A states
he
that
just predicted where he was going to be.
Yeah, he just predicted. A states that B is superior to him as well, which would further support B greater than Minato scaling. What? When? What is he on about, bro? We literally see him bitch Killer Bee in their interaction against KCM1 Naruto and B. He's beating both of them up and roasting them both the whole fucking time. Killer Bee has his moments when he uses the 8 Tails transformation, where he's able to contend with him, be relative in a sense. But the moment the Raikage goes full power, like full fucking power, V2 mode, he starts shitting his pants. And in fear, and he's like, oh no, brother is at full power. He's really going to kill Naruto. And there's nothing he can do. Nothing. It just boils down to Naruto now. So you're really going to sit
really
here
bad?
and say B is superior than... Okay.
What's really bad about that is like A literally uses B as a weapon. Like he grabs like the tail and like smacks him into Naruto.
Literally, bro. Like it's a fucking fodder-ass motherfucker. Like, not only that, right? It's stated in the data books over and over and over, because he loves statements, right? He loves statements and data books, right? But he'll misconstrue it to make it go in his favor and be a rat, okay? He loves statements, yet it's like he completely forgets about the abundance of statements that says verbatim that the Raikage is the strongest ninja in their village. But, I guess B is over Raikage, though, And then, as another funny part about it, which we even see with the third Raikage was able to beat the 8 Tails or the Jinchuriki every fucking time. Proving further, even with feats, the Raikages are the strongest people in their village. It makes sense. They're the fucking Kage. They're designed to be there to protect their fucking village and nation. Okay? So, you have all of that, alright? And then, it's just even further, Raikage, like, I'm gonna be real with you. He's probably the most egotistical motherfucker I've ever known, okay? Literally says flat out multiple times he is the fastest out of anybody. That would include KILLERBee. He is the fastest. But I guess, KILLERBee is superior. I guess he's lying about all those statements too. So like he's cherry picking statements to support a false narrative basically. And it's very annoying as fuck. That's all I'm saying. So
there's also a statement, I think it's part of the it was in the weekly release of the manga. Yeah. But there's a statement from Minato where it's literally saying that he has no rivals in strength.
Damn. Yeah. We literally have feats for it, but hey.
Minato, but also react to his instantaneous teleportation and pull his kunai out before Minato can strike him. That's actually insane, especially when
Minato.
Yeah.
We know that the Raikage was like forcing B to train throughout his entire life and like having him stay inside the Cloud Village, and just so he could get stronger and stronger, right? So adult B would scale above joining B just based off those statements, right? So of course B would scale above Minato as well. Of course, the Raikage statement should
Alright, yeah. That's why we see Naruto and KCM when he gets to Minato's level of speed, whether if you think it's relative or not, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Fucking literally like completely B is like, no way he fucking did it. Like he outspeed bro, whatever, blah, blah. But yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, you got it. I guess KILLERBee's stronger than Naruto now. Minato, Raikage, like, damn, I didn't know KILLERBee was that guy,
Naruto as well. At that point in the series, he did have KCM 1, but he hadn't really done much with it yet. He had already slammed the shit out of Kisame, and at that point in time, B remarked that he looked exactly like a yellow flag.
That's another thing. Like, this man just reminded me, which even further proves his stupidity. Naruto shits on KILLERBee. Not KILLERBee, Kisame. Now, to be fair, Kisame didn't have the sword. To be fair, I will say that. But, okay, KCM and Naruto still shit on him like he was nothing. And KILLERBee...
But you know how, like, when he, like, punches him in the back?
Yeah, he speed blitzed him and shit.
No, he had his sword.
Oh, he did? Oh, then that's even worse. Either way...
He was in his sword at that point.
Yeah, okay, that's even worse then. So, Naruto shitted on that Kisame. Yeah, you're actually right. You're right. You're right. He was in the sword and shit. He was forcing the sword to give him power. I forgot. Because the sword wanted to be with KILLERBee, but he was like, nah, fuck you, bitch. You're going to do what I tell you to do. So anyways, but what's it called? So yeah, it's even worse. So he's at full power. Naruto shits on him. KILLERBee gets fucking slammed by him. Like, but all right, hey, you got it, bro. You got it. Now, I will say this because I will be transparent. I'm not going to rat like him, okay? If KILLERBee was able to go full 8 Tails transformation, I do think Kisame would have lost that fight. But, okay, there's a possibility that B could have been a retard and shot like a Bija bomb, and then Kisame could have done the shark thing, and then that would have actually beat KILLERBee. Maybe that's like the only possible win con you can say for Kisame. But if KILLERBee was able to go full transformation, he would have more than likely beat Kisame. The only reason why KILLERBee lost that fight is because he could not go full transformation. It was stated verbatim that if he did that, he would threaten the fucking weird animal in that one dude, and he didn't want to hurt them and kill them in the battle. So he had to go to V2.
I thought he did go full transformation.
No.
Like towards the end of it.
No, he didn't. The only thing he did is I think he did like a partial transformation when he was in the water prison, but he never went full transformation. So and then like he flat out tells even the 8 Tails that like I'm not gonna do that because XYZ. And then the 8 Tails even talks to him and he's like, bro, like what's it called? Like, did you really think, whatever? Oh, no, that was Sasuke. I'm confusing myself. I'm about to bring up the Sasuke statements where he's like, did you really think it was necessary to go full transformation? But anyways, So, like, overall, like, you have all that. But either way, bottom line is with V2 and base, and mind you, he's talking about base Killer Bee. Okay? He's not talking about even V2 or full. He's talking about base. And he's going to try to sit here and convince us. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, Kasame slams that motherfucker. Was like, they were equal to each other base to base. Literally equal. And then Kasame starts beating his ass because he starts stealing his chakra. You know? So, I'm sorry. Once again, this is just crazy. Like, Killer Bee had to go to V2 in order to be able to... He didn't really speed blitz. Kasame did react and block the attack, but Kasame still got injured. But, like, he had to go to V2 to like, you know, in order to land an injury on Kasame. And Kasame was still relative. And then Kasame heals and then starts taking his chakra again and reacting to more V2 attacks. And then basically, you know, it's like, it's fair game. Like, at the end of the day, V2 and base Killer Bee was literally... still struggling to Kasame. Kasame was relative the entire fucking time. He was equal to base, then relative to V2 and V1. So, actually, no, I lied. He was equal to V1. He was only relative to V2. So, no matter what, it's like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I really don't. Like, this is just crazy.
It's putting him on Minato's level already. And, like, you can try to say that the Raikage didn't know that Naruto had mastered the QB chakra just yet, which is fair. But he should at least be talking about the lower forms of Naruto as well. And even Sage Naruto has 3 individual statements that would put him above Minato's level. When Sage Naruto first arrives on the battlefield to fight Pain, Tsunade hallucinates and sees Minato and Jiraiya standing behind Naruto. Gamabunta also remarks that Naruto reminds him of those two, that being Jiraiya and Minato.
This man's pulling another rap moment. He's saying because it says he surpassed whatever, that therefore Sage Mode Naruto's now over Minato. Oh my god. Sure, in Sage Mode, but, you know, not full power and speed, by the way. You know, it's kind of like, you know, the narrative emphasized the entire time that he needed fucking KCM. It's not like it said several times that Naruto needs the Nine Tails power to beat Obito. It's not like it said as well that Naruto needs the Nine Tails power to even fight against Sasuke. Not that Sage Mode wasn't even enough. You know, Sage Mode has its limits, and Sage Mode loses to Pain. So, but yeah, hey, you know, shit. With this logic... that means Sage Mode and Pain is above Minato as well, with this logic, basically.
Fukasaku also mentions that Naruto has surpassed his predecessors, which is insane, right? Also, I want to make it very clear that they are not talking about Sage Mode in that instance, right? Naruto...
Hey, Ken, what are they talking about? Can you tell me? I guess I forgot. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. What are they talking about?
At this point in time, I'm pretty sure they're just talking about, like, Sage Mode.
Oh. Wait, are you sure? How do you know, Ken?
Because both Jiraiya and Minato at this point in time were, like, confirmed to, like, not be good at Sage Mode or have not mastered it at all.
Wow. Wow. And what else, Ken? Is it, you know, you see frogs in the panel, right? The whole narrative is focused on Sage Mode, you know? But... you know, like, even when Naruto's training and he gets the perfect look, even the frog says, oh, he surpassed Jiraiya at that moment too. But, you know, it's not about Sage Mode, you know what I mean? Or bet when Naruto goes up to fucking Pa, and he's like, would Sage Mode be enough to beat Pain? And he's like, with your power level, you can't beat Pain. And even with Sage Mode, I highly doubt it, but it's worth a try. But, hey, you're right. It's not about Sage Mode. Facts. Like, what? I'm sorry, Loki. You know what? I'm gonna dislike the video too, because this shit was so ass. Like, oh my god.
Just displayed a feat of blitzing the Ashura path and one-shotting it with a single Rasengan. They were definitely talking about his speed and power surpassing both Jiraiya and Minato. So those are at least 3 characters that would, like, scale 2 or...
Fatigue Pain, by the way.
...above Minato, that being the Raikage, Bee, and Naruto. You could also make arguments for others like Kakashi, but,
and not only that, even if it's granted with Naruto being over the Ashura path, mind you, not at full power, but even if that is granted, okay, great, he went over Ashura path with Sage Mode, cool, you know what I mean? Like, every other path of Pain, they're all reacting accordingly. The weaker paths of Pains are able to go blow for blow with Sage Mode Naruto and react, you know, but you're telling me the Ashura path is that much drastically nowhere near. Like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Literally, the Ashura path was charging at Tsunade, was not charging at fucking Naruto, didn't give a fuck about Naruto, didn't even know he was going to do what he did, And then not only that, if anything, you could argue that Naruto had a mental amp at that moment, and that's why he even was able to speed blitz that path of pain. It's like people forget how mental amps work. Jiraiya had a mental amp at one point. He even speed blitzed the path of pain as well, and then couldn't do it anymore. Mental amps are a fucking thing. The guy just found out, he literally sees his whole village blown up. Tsunade confirms Kakashi is dead, okay? And he gets pissed, and then he immediately goes to kill the path of pain. It was a mental amp moment. So I don't know what the fuck this guy's on about, you know?
Like, I'm not gonna lie as well, like, Minato, like, sees, like, everything Pain's capable of all that. And he's like, yeah, that guy's tough, but the real problem is, like, that guy was...
Literally! He said, yeah, he says Obito! Yeah. Like, it's like this guy forgets about all these other abundant... Like, he's literally just cherry-picking shit, bro, to fit his narrative. Like, come on, bro. Like, what we doing? What are we doing? Like, he's so much better than this, too, and he knows that shit. He's being weird with this, bro. Like, come on.
I'm not going to go that far. You guys already get the point. Now, my second method of scaling Kinkaku and Ginkaku above Minato would be that they're just outright stronger than Darui. Of course, the Raikage statement would apply to him as well, and we already see them, like, beating him up in base. So, basically, everybody loves to use Darui.
He did not beat up Darui. Once again, that is wrong.
Darui as, like, an...
Reread the manga. Watch the anime, please.
Feet for Kinkaku and Genkaku.
If anything, Darui beat them up more.
Right, we're gonna be hyping up Darui here, boys. The fact of the matter is that he is relative to the Raikage in speed, because during the 5 Kage summit, he is not only able to keep up with A, but it's also
V1, V1, V1.
Wait, time out.
V1, not V2.
Did this guy just sit there and say, like, Darui's, like, relative to Minato?
Yes,
I mishear that.
he's dead ass saying Darui is relative to Minato and V2 Raikage. This motherfucker is delusional.
That is disgusting. I guess everyone just has KCM1 levels of speed. What the fuck?
Literally, he's pulling the noodles right now, bro. Like, this is just nonsense. Like, holy fuck, bro. Like Darui is literally struggling with Suigetsu. He's struggling with Juga, or not even like. When Juga goes full power, he's like immediately like shitting his pants, and only the Raikage was a threat and could deal with Jugo no diff, basically. But like he's struggling with Suigetsu and all these motherfuckers, right? And then mind you, Suigetsu's not a weakling. I'm not saying that, but Suigetsu is nowhere near Sasuke in the Raikage. That's what I'm getting at, okay? It's blatantly emphasized. And we know everything about KCM and Minato. I'm not going to get into that. And if like this motherfucker is like bullying Jugo and just V1, okay, and sure, they could have, like, relativity to V1. That's fine. That's perfectly fucking fine. It's V1. I don't give a fuck about that. But when Raikage goes full power, you name it, full speed, nobody can fuck with him. Not even Sasuke could at that point. He had to use Susanoo, Jutsu Activization, to protect himself along with the Mataratsu because of how stronger and faster the Raikage was compared to him. So it's like this man, I don't know where, like, he is. He's just completely lost in the fucking sauce. Like, on God, I'm really not trying to be mean, but D1 would absolutely embarrass this motherfucker. Like, and then many, many other competent people that I know of. Like, I'm sorry. And once again, that's why I'll say this all day, every day. I'm saying this right now. You could debate Ken, that's literally on this video right now, all day, every day. You're not winning with these L takes and logic. It is horrible and horrendous, bro.
Also able to defeat Suigetsu, who has feats against both B and the Raikage as well. So it's pretty clear that Darui should scale to the Raikage's tier of
V1.
speed, at least his version.
And another thing, whenever his hair goes all the way up and it's like staying up like some Super Saiyan shit and spiky, that's when he's at full power, by the way. It even shows visual appearance to when Raikage is at full power. He's using a non-full power Raikage to misconstrued and rat and say now Darui's relative to full power.
One state, as that's like the most we've seen from him, but also we know for a fact that version 1 Raikage should be relative to...
That's another thing. KILLERBEE literally is fucking fighting Suigetsu, Jugo, and even Taka Sasuke. And they're all like going blow for blow. And mind you, KILLERBEE is shitting on them technically too. Or like, at least he's not even
He's
phased.
also holding back.
But he's holding...
He wants to use them for like an excuse to like escape.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, he's holding back, and that too what Ken said. But like KILLERBEE is like, he's not in any danger basically. You know what I mean? But there's at least relativity to a suppressed KILLERBEE, and it just goes to show that like they're not drastically nowhere near, you know what I mean? So there's that too. Now Sasuke, he was at least relative. That I will say he is. Suigetsu and Jugo, they were relative to a suppressed holding back Killing Bee. Okay, so no matter what, like, you know, you have all that, and mind you, that Sasuke is way weaker than 5 Kage summoned Sasuke. Okay, at least in regards to like speed and you name it, in you know, chakra and shit, whatnot. Okay, while fucking when it comes to obviously the Mangekyo, Genjutsu, and Amaterasu, that's still going to be the same in a way, but you can argue otherwise.
Well, I don't think the one that fought B, I don't think that one can use the Sushino yet.
Yeah, no, he can't. Yeah, no, he couldn't. He would need to tap into more hatred, or he just wasn't skilled enough. You don't even need hatred either. Like Itachi and Chisui are examples, but either way, what's it called? But yeah, like he was nowhere near good enough to even utilize Susanoo. He couldn't do it yet. So you know, at the end of the day, it comes to the point where, you know, like, this is just crazy. Like, this man is saying all kinds of nonsense. Like, apparently Killer Bee is stronger than Raikage, fucking Naruto and Minato, and apparently Darui is relative to Minato and Raikage now, and all this nonsense. It's just crazy.
Stronger than early KCM.
Like that, like this upscales everybody. Choji, Shikamaru, Ino, you name it, bro. All these motherfuckers together. Like, this is just crazy. Like,
before he got his mental amp right, he got that one resolve amp and decided to outspeed the Raikage.
Jay would slam Loco too. Like, Jay the Great would beat this motherfucker up, dude. Like, holy shit.
Okay, which is like, that's not what we're talking about right here. Naruto, without his mental amp, was getting bullied by the Raikage in his version 1 state. He was getting pushed around. He was getting hit back. Like, the Raikage actually grabbed B's tentacle and slammed him into Naruto. It's actually insane, right? And Darui should just be relative to this tier.
Wait, he's debunking himself. Why did he show that? Hey, Snowhawk said Ken slams, but D1, I don't know. Oh, you're talking about Loco? Yeah, no, yeah. Ken would slam Loco. I absolutely agree with you. Slam would slam him to oblivion. If anything, if I'm being transparent and I'm not being a dickhead, it would be a low diff, and the only reason why is because Ken is going to have to deal with and enable his rat and solve his bullshit. But you know, I do agree. Ken would definitely win. I'm sorry. There could be multiple fucking judges, and I know damn well they would all say fucking Ken will win. So, obviously, I wouldn't be a judge because then he probably pulled the bias excuse or some bullshit. But you know, Ken would slay.
I'd just say he's biased against you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hilarious when everyone any fucking fool or goon wants to say I'm fucking biased or some bullshit, because literally I'm the first one to not be biased. I'm the most unbiased motherfucker. I don't give a fuck who you are. You could be Jay, Swag, whoever. I'm gonna tell you as it is. That's just how I am as a fucking person. Okay, and you can even be a friend or whatever. Blah blah blah. I'm still gonna, if I disagree or I think you lost, I'm gonna say it. It is what it is at the end of the day. Okay, and I'll even be humble enough to say I could also be wrong. You know what I mean? Like, so no matter what, like, it's a joke, but for the sake of sanity and simplicity, that's why I just wouldn't judge anyways, because it's just a pathetic excuse to use. I'd still give my, you know, subjective and objective analysis of the debate, but it's not going to be utilized if it was to ever occur. You know, I would use other people, because if the majority of others are saying, yeah, Loco, you lost, come on, I don't know what the fuck to tell you at that point, you know? But either way, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, but yeah, D1, that'll be interesting. Ken versus D1, that'll be very, very interesting. What's it called? But it'd be funny, but it'd be interesting.
He scales to KCM1 Naruto, who has several statements implying that he is at or above Minato's level at this point in the story. Just to make it as clear as possible, I want to make sure y'all know that I am not downplaying Minato for the purposes of making this video. I have always thought he scaled to...
Alright, YouTube, let me know in the comments. Is he downplaying Minato or is he not? Please let me know. I won't even say anything more. Let me know. I'm very curious.
He hasn't said anything on Minato's, like, actual thing. Like, if anything, he's not, like, highballing him like he has Ken and Gen.
Yeah, exactly. No, he is highballing the fuck out of Ken and Gen.
KCM1 Naruto in terms of speed. You can also say that he would scale to Sage Naruto as well. Like, obviously, like I mentioned, Sage Naruto has multiple statements and feats that would put him above Minato's level. Also, a lot of people are going to try to claim that, like, Naruto needed Sage Mode to clash with the Nine Tails, and that, like, Minato was stated to be above Hashirama. Those are the people that I don't like, that tend to wank Minato. We already know for a fact that that statement of Minato being on Hashirama's level was horribly mistranslated. I talked about that in some of my other videos.
I'm going to need some proof of that.
Yeah, so he's pulling a noodles, so I'll even show my Discord just to blatantly like debunk that fucking nonsense.
Like I know of like 5 different translations that I've seen of it. Like I think 6 did a video on this recently.
Yeah.
Where they all practically say the same thing.
Yeah, they all say the same exact shit. It's the same exact shit. Not only that, just to make the matter even worse. So if you go to the official Naruto website, which is by Kishimoto, by the way, okay, and you go there, and I even took pictures of it so I didn't have to go to the website, but you can go to the website. It's on my Discord. It's an official translation for professionals that Kishimoto hired. So if you look here, it says Naruto official site. The way they have it for manga translation and publishing roles is translator in charge of translating. Then they have the letterer, what's it called, to where it's in charge of lettering, etc. Oh, you know, let me open this because it's kind of hard to read it from here. All right, there we go. So there we go. Now we can see it better. So here it says in charge of lettering replaces things like dialogue, whatever the fuck that word means, adjusts font sizes, etc. Then it has the editor in charge of finalizing, checks for spelling errors, sentence order, etc. You have all these motherfuckers, professionals, remind you, okay? And as you can probably guess, the translator handles the English translation. The letter's main duties are to erase the Japanese lines and whatever the fuck that word means, okay, and replace them with the English versions, as well as edit font design and size. Then editors perform the final check, okay? And that's just basically how that works. Official shit, remind you. Not no random ass wannabe doing a translation app or tool or whatever. Official professional Naruto translators for Kishimoto, okay? And then it gets even worse. We have this to where it says the editors perform the final check by looking for spelling errors, making sure there aren't mistakes in order of the lines. It's a little bit more technical, but when I first started working on Naruto, the manga data wasn't divided into layers yet. Not only the lines, but all the whatever in the background had to be manually erased, so the letter's job was a huge hassle. But now the digital data for backgrounds and characters that given to us it is divided in layers, etc. Basically just talking about, like, you know, how it works in a certain consensus. Okay, then you have this scan where, pull this through. It says, besides speech bubbles, we also have to keep the anime version in mind. The English version of Naruto anime began a little while after the manga volume started coming out, but the anime progressed quickly. Before we knew it, it overtook the manga volumes being released. Because of that, any techniques or phrases that appeared in anime first had to be reflected as consistently as possible in the manga, basically being the same, unless there was a reason for why. If they changed it, then that means that was actually the correct translation, and what it actually was saying compared to the manga. So, you know, overall, like, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, I guess they're wrong. I guess, you know, their translation is like, what do you say on that, Ken? You know, like what more do you say on that? You know, but all right.
The only thing I have to say is what I said before is the fact that, like, there's like 3 further like translations that have been done for it outside of this.
Yeah.
And like it's literally like the same. Real fast as well, that word you're looking at was onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
It basically is just the words that, like, they sound the way they are, like crack,
Okay.
flash, boom, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck that was, and I wasn't even gonna attempt to fucking pronounce that shit. So, but all right. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. So once again, that's blatantly nonsense. I don't know what he's on about. And then 2, like even if we're not even arguing the semantics or even whether if the statements are actually, we take them at face value or not, okay? Bottom line is, the fact that Minato even has anything to be remotely on the level with Hashirama is a big fucking deal. It's not like the Itachi scene where they're talking about personality and philosophy and in character and morality. They're talking about a combat scenario into suppressing and combating against the Nine Tails, saying he's on a similar level to Hashirama. That is a big fucking deal. And it's throughout the entire narrative, even through part 1, where there's an abundance amount of statements of Minato being teased to be above Hashirama or on his level. You even have the Hiruzen shit where Hiruzen, like, says flat out, I cannot let the third be revived or whatever, and blah, blah, and he doesn't give a fuck about the first 2, okay? Then you even go further with all the other statements with Tsunade talking about Minato, Jiraiya, blah, blah. Like, it makes it sound like he's just this fucking god, even compared to Hashirama, okay? Then it even gets worse to the point where we see the Team Minato shit with the statements, and then it's worse when we see feats. Literal feats to support it further. Not just statements like some Sasuke shit in the tuning exams, feats as well. Literally feats where he's combating against a fucking full power Ninetales. A Biju bomb that's the same size that was shot at Hashirama. Okay? And Hashirama used a wood golem to deal with the Biju bomb. What does Minato do as a team? He used a baby-ass incomplete rising gun while fatigued, injured, and poisoned. So I don't want to fucking hear it. Alright? Like, boo-hoo and Cry Me River that you hate when people bring up that he's Hashirama level. You know?
Real fast, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So the only other thing I want to say is he kind of made that claim without evidence, so it can be dismissed without evidence.
And that too. Like he's arguing from his emotions. He's appealing to his emotions. I don't give a fuck.
With the Ninetales, like, I can downplay the shit out of it if I wanted to, but the fact of the matter is, base Naruto with his incomplete Rasen Shuriken was stated to rival Hokage Minato in terms of power. This is an actual statement. So basically, Naruto from all the way back in early Shippuden should scale to Hokage Minato, which would just upscale the rest of the verse. So like, after seeing that statement, Minato's feat of clashing with the Ninetales doesn't really...
So this statement is contradicted and is a retcon, once again, with the new Minato one-shot, and two, it's blatantly incorrect because, once again, we literally see, like, fucking what Minato is capable of using the Rising Gun. Against Obito, against the Ninetales, etc. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Naruto struggled with half the Ninetales and needed Sage Mode and help, okay? Minato took care of that shit by himself with a Rising Gun. Incomplete baby-ass Rising Gun, fatigued, poisoned, and injured. While this motherfucker had to make an A-rank technique into an S-rank technique, basically an evolution, okay? And could still not even perform better than Minato. And half the power of the Ninetales ate that shit. It literally did nothing when it made, to be fair, it made it move, but it didn't even injure the Ninetales or do anything. Like, while Minato could beat the Ninetales. Like, I don't know what more you fucking need. Full power. But, what were you saying, Ken?
I was just saying, a running theory that you can go with is the idea that the 50% Rasen Shuriken is not weaker than the complete Rasen Shuriken in power. The reason why it's incomplete is because Naruto can't maintain it.
Exactly. That is correct. There's an abundance of evidence to support that notion as well. And most importantly, once again, for the millionth time, okay, it's just blatantly throughout the entire fucking narrative, Naruto is being compared to Sasuke or to Minato in certain regards. Okay? And he's constantly trying to chase and get and catch up with them. They're always drastically ahead of him. Once again, Naruto needed a KCM 1 to even be Yellow Flash Minato in power. Okay, joining Minato. That's what he needed. Not a Rising Shuriken, not Sage Mode. Okay, Sage Mode, yeah, gave him like relativity in a sense, okay, or at least in some sense to be near Minato in a way, okay. But either way, like that's with just reaction and combat speed. But anyways, and sensory, my bad. But either way, no matter what, when it comes to it, like, this Naruto was nowhere near Minato. Nowhere near. The only thing he was surpassing Minato in regard was using a technique that Minato didn't have enough time to do. That's all it was. And if Boruto could do it, Minato could do it as well. Okay, I'm just putting that out there too. Boruto was able to create two S-rank technique Rising Guns. A Lightning and another Wind Style version. So, at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm sorry, but the disrespect to Minato is just getting really old. Like, people just need to suck it the fuck up, you know?
Yeah. Also, like we said earlier, like, rival doesn't mean equal. Like, you can rival someone and still be below them.
Exactly.
So, like, this Rasen Shuriken could still be, like, below Minato in power.
Yeah. Literally. So, and we've seen that, like, dichotomy with Sasuke and Naruto, Kakashi and Guy, etc. Like, Madara and Hashirama. Madara was a rival, yet Hashirama was way above EMS Madara. He was way above. He fucking shitted on, like, when he got serious and went Sage Mode, he shitted on Madara. The Ninetales and Madara at the same time in one move. You know what I mean? So, like, all because you're stated a rival or be a rival or competitive with someone doesn't mean you're equal to them. You know, like, or some shit. Like,
really matter anymore because anyone that scales above base Naruto would be able to do the exact same thing. So with that being said, I don't think Minato really has any win cons here, right? Because Kinkaku and Genkaku scale above base Naruto from early Shippuden, so they should be able to overpower him in terms of AP. Obviously, they're fucking buff. They're physically stronger than him by a mile. Minato isn't really known for his, like, physical strength. And of course, like, they should scale to Darui, the Raikage, etc. That should all scale at least 2 or above Minato's tier of speed, so he's not going to have a speed advantage on them at all. Also, they blatantly have better sealing jutsu than Minato because they have the Sage of Six Paths Sacred Tool. Nothing short of the Reaper Death Seal would be able to come anywhere close to that level of sealing, and of course, that would be a lose-lose.
That's an argument of ignorance. You're talking about...
Why would...
Yeah, like, that's a god of fucking what? Like, death or hell or some shit? Like, it's like some omnipotent fucking being? Like, whatever? Fucking, like, can it, like, even put you, like, in Tsukiyomi for, like, eternity or some shit, too? In, like, the stomach of him? Like, but, hey, you know, we're just gonna sit here and say it's, like, you know, okay. Like, what do you think on that, Ken? I think that's a little weird. To downplay the Reaper Death Seal.
Is.
Like, that shit's strong as fuck.
My question is, why would Minato have to match, like, their sealing power?
Yeah. It doesn't even make sense.
Why wouldn't his other sealing stuff work? Like, even if, like, his other sealing jutsu is, like, weaker than the Sage's Six Packs tools, like, that doesn't affect, like...
It doesn't even change anything, yeah. Because at the end of the day, Minato's already stated verbatim to have Nine Tails level sealing even without the Reaper Death Seal. And then fucking, like, he can... At the end of the day, like... If worst case scenario, if Minato had to, if he had it, which would never be the case, but like let's say he was like, I don't know, fatigued or some bullshit, right, or whatever, like extremely fatigued or whatever, and that's the only way to do it. Like, then guess what? It's just a stalemate at that point. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. But no matter what, you know, that's a little weird. If anything, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you could argue either way, but if I had to choose, I might lean with the Reaper Death Seal, bro, because it's literally the Reaper of Death. It's like a god entity, basically. You know what I mean? Like whenever it comes to those weird, like, supernatural beings, like even in Boruto when it was showing like another like weird entity that was similar to the Reaper Death, like it's like some legendary lore status type shit. Like it's a big deal. It's very dangerous, you know. And it's a forbidden fucking technique, you know. So, like, I don't know. Like, if anything, if I really had to pick, if I nitpick that, I would say the Reaper is probably more superior. But it's understandable to advocate for the other tools because, once again, it's the Sage of Six Paths' tools. So
it's like a draw for both parties. So honestly, I don't believe Minato has the speed, strength, or durability, Splinter level, to be able to contend with Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Like, what does he even do to them at this point?
Oh, he said what you were expecting.
Yeah, it's predictable. Yeah, like none of this shit was even new, or because that's what pisses me off the most. It's like there were certain angles that were definitely new to me that I haven't heard before. But the majority of it was very predictable and what I've already heard a million fucking times. You know. And it's just extremely debunkable and refutable. And once again, just like I have a durability video for Naruto. I'll put that in the link in the description if you guys are curious of how durability works in Naruto. I did that with one of my boys, Shinobi, as well. But basically the way durability works in Naruto is you utilize chakra just with anything, like swords, fucking jutsu, you name it. And you can strengthen your body to where it's able to do super fictional feats, aka even Sage Wind helps with that. QB chakra, you name it, etc. Even normal chakra. Even have the lightning cloaks, you name it. Like, there's all kinds of examples. Diamond armor. So you can utilize jutsus or use chakra to increase your durability. Every ninja in Naruto is human level. Every single fucking one of them. Even the aliens, like, they're technically not human level, but what's it called? Even they, like, if they're just like not channeling chakra in their body or whatever, they could get fucked up by someone that's way below them. Like, for instance, like Kage to Ishiki. Kage was able to fucking, like, you know, put him on the verge of death. Because he, like, it was basically his comrade, right? The only time a Naruto character, even if you're, like, super strong or whatever, can ever actually be off guard and sneak attacked is if you're trusting someone and they're, like, a loyal comrade. A.k.a. Zetsu to Madara, a.k.a. Obito to Madara, a.k.a. Kage to Ishiki. That's the only time when someone actually does get off guard or sucker punch and sneak attacked. Other than that, it never, ever happens.
But I just sent you a panel from Naruto where Kushina literally states that Minato is like able to seal the Nine Tails with something besides the Reaper Death Seal.
Yeah. No, and that's the statement I was referring to. What's it called? Yeah, there's that one, and then there's one statement she says to Naruto when they're in the dream world. She says, "But why the Reaper Death Seal? There's no need for you to die, just so you can grow up, whatever, blah blah. Why does Naruto have to be so okay?" And yep, blah blah. Okay.
there's like literally Kushina like confirming like Minato has like sealing jutsu like outside the Reaper Death Seal, which can seal away the Nine Tails.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that, and then you also have like another statement in the dream world where Kushina tells like that she taught Minato like sealing jutsus, whatever, blah blah, and then we literally even see him already while as a teen having sealing to suppress the Nine Tails, you know what I mean, and fucking hard and locked at the ceiling and deal with him effortlessly. So like you have that too, but either way, it's that's just kind of what you're working with. What I will say at the end of the day, I'll give him, if I'm going to gas him up in any regard, an incredible job with sophist scaling. Very, very good job. It's very good to try to convince, I guess, a portion of people in the community to be along this line of scaling and logic. So that was good. I'll give him that. It was impressive. I also did really enjoy the other certain angle points that I haven't heard instead of always the same recycled bullshit. But the majority of it was the same recycled bullshit. So I will put that out there. Now, there was some like chain scaling that completely caught me off guard as well. So I'll give him that too. But either way, like it's everything he's mentioned is just extremely, extremely debunkable. Like extremely. So it comes to a point where I don't recommend this. Like if you're going against like a low tier, maybe even a mid tier, you might be able to get away with, but that's a risk. Then sure, you could get away with it, by all means, free reign. But if you're going against a high tier debater, okay, or even a really good mid tier debater, this shit ain't gonna fly, bro. You're literally arguing for L stances, and you're arguing to the contrary to the amount of evidence that says otherwise. It's not wise, it's not logical, and you're just gonna put yourself at a disadvantage. If you want to give yourself a challenge or to get better or whatever the case may be, then by all means to have fun with it. But this, I just really don't suggest even try to have any rationale or logic behind all this shit. It's just, I don't advise it at all. And that's just kind of my final thoughts before this video is going to end too. But, it's just, I don't know. This shit is just weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah. Real fast. If he was like being fair, because he definitely highballed like 10 again. Yeah. Like if you wanted to be fair, like you would highball Minato. Like Minato's highballs like KCM2 speed off Kakashi's like statement to like relative to like KCM2 like Jubito with like power.
Yeah, like literally like fucking like Minato. That's what he just doesn't understand. It's like if we lowball Minato, you could say, oh, no matter what, he's just KCM1, right? Whatever. Like, or KCM 1.5. And then if you highball, you could say he's even KCM2, okay? What's it called? And then if you even go further beyond that, like, whatever, you could also say that he's Hashirama level. And when it comes to sealing and when it comes to ninjutsu, okay? So it's like you have basically either KCM1 speed in all like areas, combat, reaction, you name it, okay? The only thing that's 6th pass level or 8th gate level is his neurotransmission, his jutsu activation for flying Raijin. That is actually cracked. Okay, I'm sorry, he has defeats. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Tobirama also has cracked jutsu activation. He's able to time his flying Raijin upon moderate attacks. But other than that, like his combat reaction and like travel speed, like just with his body, that has limits. It's either KCM1 or KCM2, and then his jutsu power and sealing power is Hashirama level. Okay. That at the end of the day, I'm just gonna be blatant honest with you. That's not even like a high ball or whatever. That's dead ass low ball. Like I'm not joking. Now, if you say he's Hashirama overall, okay, like even in all forms of stats, whatever. In my opinion, I think that's a high ball, and I think you're fucking stretching it. But it is what it is. Now, if he has KCM too, then that's when I do think Minato is surpassing people like Hashirama. That's just me personally, based upon everything we have. But if it's Minato just in base and with also Sage mode, you could give him bare minimum sealing and ninjutsu level comparison compared to Hashirama. Like you could at least argue relativity, right? Even if you don't think it's equal, at least relative. And the fact that it's even relative is ridiculous. That's just insane. Period. The fact that Minato has those things while Kinkaku and Ginkaku have all this other shit that's horrible, anti-feats to the whole Inoshikacho, whatever, blah blah, you name it, blah blah. Okay, and on top of it, like fucking just getting beaten up and sealed in the end too. All this shit, whatever. Like, bro, how are you gonna sit here and say this is even a discussion? You know what I mean? Like, this is just crazy. It's absolutely like just crazy. like I don't know.
I'm gonna bring up the 8th Gate guy stuff, but like I've already said, I've talked about that in length in my other videos, especially the Minato versus Tobirama one, the Sasuke versus Minato one. It goes on and on. Like, if you want to debunk on those feats, go watch those videos. But I will.
Okay. So by that logic, I forgot. I guess, you know, when Tobirama does it to Madara, it's fine and acceptable. But when Minato does it to 8th Gate guy, now it's a problem. Like, okay. Like, how the fuck does that make sense, Ken? Like, I don't understand that shit. Once again, it's just cherry picking. It's like, Tobirama does something, it's okay. Minato, no. Fuck that shit. Let me apply any level of speculation to why that is not the case. Like, alright. Like, it's literally a flying Raijin feat, bro. What more do you need? I don't know what to fucking tell you. And if his explanation or the nonsense excuse is a guy is like stepping in air, whatever, some bullshit, he's literally doing that the entire time. I actually had to read the fight because at first I actually believed in that refutation, but when I actually reread the series and even watched the anime even shows it better. Guy is doing that the entire fucking time. He doesn't have 2 levels of fucking speed. He's literally running on air the whole time. So to have an excuse that, oh, he's running on air and that's why, whatever, that's just retarded. It makes no fucking sense. At the end of the day, Guy in 8th Gate is 6 past level in fucking speed. It's that simple in all areas, okay? While Minato, at least bare minimum, has Jutsu activation speed on that level. It's that fucking simple, you know? So it is what it is.
Right now, for those of you that think I have been downplaying Minato for this entire video, I am willing to concede one thing about this argument. Casey and Minato would win. Thank you for watching.
Okay, at least he says Casey and Minato is about it. But either way...
He meant that as a troll.
Oh, okay. What's it called?
He said, like, Minato, like, needs the 9 tails to, like, even stack to Ken again.
Gotcha. So, overall, like, what's your ending thoughts for this video? I didn't expect it to be this long. Like, I really didn't, but it was good. I had fun. This is like a popcorn type video. I'll say that. But what do you think?
To keep it simple and concise,
yeah.
He hyped Paul again and again. He refused to, even like I'll just say, he lowballed Minato. Like, he ignored a lot of his scalings and he lowballed whatever he did.
Not even lowballed. He severely. Like, I wouldn't even say lowball. I'd say like fucking zero balled this motherfucker. like.
And the reason why I say that, and I'm just going to say this just in case he watches, the reason why I'm saying it's a low ball is because he's taking, like, the worst statements from Minato, and then, like, he's, like, ignoring, like, the better statements. Like, when Kakashi says, like, oh, like, compares, like, KCM2 to, like, him.
Yeah.
The one where it states, like, Minato has, like, no rivals. Like, the fact that both A and Jiraiya think, like, there's no ninja who's, like, equal to Minato. Like, and this is, like, even, like, around the same time, like, A's talking about, Ginnigan as well.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, because that's like right after Kid and Ginkgo are dealt with. That's when he has his fight with Naruto, and he still says that shit. He still says it, you know. So it's like overall, like he's just cherry picking the whole fucking time. That's the issue. And then what was really frustrating? That's the most frustrating element about it. Regardless if he actually really believes in it, if he does. It is what it is. No harm, no foul. It's fictional fucking anime. It's whatever. It's not that deep. You do you. I respect it. But what's annoying, though, is at the end of the day, when it comes to applying transparency and being in at least a form of equity, okay, there is definitely a lot of contentious value here. And he's not enforcing that in contentious value. He's literally picking just one side of a narrative, all this shit, and then ignoring all the other evidence that says otherwise and contradicts what he's advocating for. That's the fucking problem. Like, you can't hyper-focus to that capacity and then say, oh, therefore it's this, and ignore everything else. To me, that would be an instinct, or not an instinct, that would be an example of dishonesty. Because you're literally ignoring all this other evidence that says otherwise. Like, if you're trying to be unbiased or as humble as possible or apply as much transparency or or equity as possible for a scaling video, you're going to bring those other lines of evidence, and you're going to mention it and then give your brief subjective view or objective analysis on it. It's just that simple. If you're actually about it, that's what you do. Like, for instance, like TG, he's the god of that. He's always doing devil's advocate, or he's at least bringing up the contentious values of things. You know what I mean? He's not just going to sit here and just blatantly dick stroke one side of the spectrum of scaling, you know? So no matter what, I just don't fuck with that. I can't stand that. Like, Noodles is a king of that. Loco is I guess another version of it. And even King Bullet is another example. Like, there's certain people, not all of them. The majority of people are humble and transparent. But there's certain individuals that are just, I don't know, they're just like that. And I don't know if they're doing that because for their business side of things or to get attention or whatever the fucking case may be, or if it's an ego thing or if they just really, really believe. I don't know. But bottom line is, it's very weird. It's very, very weird. It's very irritating in a regard too. And I personally just don't fuck with that. Like at the end of the day, like I have like mixed signals and feelings for Loco as of this moment. It's like the last video I saw was like really, really good. And even the debate he had against Peach Fuzz was really, really good. I was like, all right, this guy actually knows his shit. But then seeing shit like this is like a complete turn off, like to not want to watch all his content, or just at least doesn't provide incentive for me, you know? If anything, he's going to be like the last guy I'm going to be watching towards the end of like doing reactions or whatever, you know? So, and it's, once again, no disrespect, but I just don't like that type of scaling and that type of logic and argumentation. I don't like that at all. If you're really going to do something, there's nothing wrong with giving what you really, really believe in or would argue or advocate for, but at least bring up the competitiveness or the contentiousness of certain things, and don't just say, oh, it's only this and that's it. That's just, once again, that's blatantly dishonest or blatant ignorance. That's all I can really have to say as my main critique and nitpick. As for every other fucking thing, it's easily refutable and debunkable. That's all I'll say on that. It's just nonsense and silliness, a pure delusion. But either way, that's about it. Do you have anything else to add, Ken? No? I'll take your...
Sorry about that. No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. What's it called? Yeah, go ahead.
I had something to add. I completely forgot about it. Sorry about it.
No, you're good, brother. Not bad. I probably talked too long, that's why. But
all good.
We'll end it there, though, guys. If you guys enjoyed, I hope you did. This is definitely going to be a two-part reaction. I'm not combining this. It's going to be way too long if I combine it. So this will be a two-part reaction. This way they're both only an hour long. That's it. What's it called? And that'll just kind of be the vibes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like. Comment your thoughts down below. Okay, let me know what you think. Let's be real. Like, all the scaling points he brought up, you know what I mean? Like, tell me one thing you just blatantly also disagreed with, or just like, what the fuck is he on about? Because I know you guys are going to be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I know damn well. And two, most important, let me know how you actually think Minato versus Kinkaku would go. Very, very curious. And we're going to be reacting to a goated video, by the way. It's actually the opposite, where I feel like this guy just got really pissed off at him and was like, fuck this guy. And it's about Minato bullying Kinkaku and Kinkaku. Okay? We're going to watch a very competent video. Now, me and Ken don't play around. I can't say if Ken's going to react to that as well with me, because that video would actually be a very short reaction, because when someone's actually spitting and being competent, or at least transparent and equitable, okay, obviously then me and Ken are not going to have to fucking really respond that much. It'd just be more of like, oh, we fuck with this type video. But we're going to be watching that shit. It's more likely going to be heat, but we don't play around with the bullshit either. If he starts being a Minato tard and saying some off-the-rib nonsense, we're also going to check that as well. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more content. Subscribe to the channel. Be plenty more reactions along the way. Batman out. Peace.